it increases how much health you get per level. I mean, you know, you can start out with, basically I think it's for every point of endurance you get 10 more health points. By the way, strength also affects your, how much weight you can carry. Charisma, personally I always put charisma down to 1. Why? Because in this game, charisma isn't really that important. I mean, yeah, sure, you can, they have speech challenges where, okay, if you get the challenge, whoop-de-doo, you know, you get maybe 200 more experience, which, don't get me wrong, experience is important. But, you know, sometimes you get maybe 50 more caps or whatever. And basically, those points I put in, you know, speech, barter, or even charisma could be used somewhere else. And I mean, basically, when you're going through Fallout, if you need, you know, caps, you can basically pick up anything and sell it. Also, those egg nests around the dead people, you can search them, but I didn't want to. But anyway, intelligence. Intelligence, immediately set it to 9 whenever you start out. Why? Because it increases the skill points you get per level. Agility, if you're a VATS whore like I am, you'll want to set that high too. And then luck. Luck, leave it at 5 or 6 if you got an extra point. Why would you put anything to a luck? Well, whenever you, let me think how to word this. Whenever you add a point in luck, all your skills, you know, small guns and everything, goes up by a little bit. Now those doors to my right will lead out to those raiders that I spoke of earlier, but I didn't want to screw with them, so I'm just going to go back to the front door. But back to luck, it'll increase it, I think, by 0.5 or 1.5 to a skill. Can't be exact, but I mean, it increases all your skills, so I mean, it's a pretty damn good stat. So I mean, if you put luck down to 1, thinking, oh well, I don't need it, well, all your skills are going to go down. And it's better to keep it at an odd stat to really reap the benefits. Because, you know, 1, you add 0.5, well, oh, never mind, I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. But just, you know, I mean, don't put luck down to 1, that's a bad idea. Let's see what else. So basically, I mean, that covers your character. As for armor, the heavier the armor is, the slower you move. So I'm wearing Raider armor, and I'm moving slower than I was when I wore just the Bolt 101 jumpsuit. And I believe I'm about to have an encounter with a wandering merchant. I think it's Doc Hoff. And also, garbage cans oftentimes hold goodies. In this case, both of these happen to hold a Nuka-Cola. They're basically like food, but they have a pretty good, you know, they add a good amount of health to you. Here I was going to go to Megaton and sell my stuff, and I was like, I don't want it. Thought maybe I better go through Springvale first. Maybe he doesn't appear yet. Maybe it's a little bit later on. But anyway, when you first come out of the vault, there'll be that mailbox there. You can get 3 free frag grenades right off the bat. Mailboxes, always check them, because they usually hold something. Now look, 6 darts. Leather belt, I'm not going to take it. It's going to be there when I get back. So, and you know, check basically everything in the wasteland might hold something, unless it says empty, then it won't. And this is your introduction to lockpicking. Basically, you know, you move the pin, and then you try the screwdriver. If the screwdriver doesn't go, that means, oh, guess what? You can't, you know, you gotta move the pin. Basically, you move it until it, you know, you can turn the lock. And that little thing flying around, that is an iBot, an Enclave iBot. I'll tell you a little bit more about them later. And that Pugilism Illustrated that I picked up, do not read it. And also that Chinese, you know, sneaking guide or whatever, don't read that either. Any books you pick up in the beginning, do not read. The Grognak, the whatever, the Barbarian, do not read them. They do add 1 point to skill, you know, like Grognak is, I believe, melee weapons, and Pugilism is unarmed. But don't read them. You may ask why. Later on you can get a perk that will, instead of giving you 1 point, will give you an extra point wherever you read a book. And that cellar door right there, you know, don't even try going into console, unlock, you know, it won't open, and it won't be activated. I think it's activated sometime in Broken Steel. But, back to the perk, you may think, oh, whoop-de-doo, it only adds 1 point, why would I want to waste a perk on that? Okay, let me put it this way. Lockpicking at 75, and here's Doc Hoff, by the way. There's 4 merchants. He sells
have a home.
food and medicine. There's 4 kinds. One that sells food and medicine, which is Doc Hoff. Crow, who sells armor. Harding, I think, sells weapons. And then Wolfgang sells junk. I sell my food because I don't see any point in having it. 32 pistol. I love revolvers, love the look of it, but it just sucks as a weapon. Especially on very hard. So just sell it for scrap. 10mm pistol, this will be your best friend. People may ask, well, why don't you use a 10mm submachine gun? If you have a low small gun skill and go into VATS, you may miss 2 to 3 of the shots. It does a 3-round burst. That's 3 bullets you just lost. With the 10mm pistol, if you go into VATS, you only miss 1 bullet if you miss with the shot in VATS. Yes, it does more damage, but if you use VATS, or, you know, just burst, you'll lose ammo very quickly. Assault rifle, this early in the game, I just sell it for scrap. I mean, it's not even worth it. Brass knuckles, same thing, I'm not an unarmed. Chinese pistol, it's a pathetic weapon, used as a last resort, just sell it. Combat knife, keep it. Hunting rifle, if you notice, it also uses 32 caliber pistol ammo. That's because they share the same ammo, so keep it. Knife. It's like the combat knife, but I'm not sure the differences. I think it's weaker. Lead pipe, sell it. It's heavy. That may do more damage, but you can only get 2 to 3 hits in VATS. Police baton, went over it before. Switchblade, it's like the knives. These 2, one adds speech, one adds agility. I've got armor, I don't need those. Alright, and then all that ant meat, you know, it's 2 caps per ant meat, so killing them is worth it. You get like 24 caps for them. And basically the only thing I trade for is stim packs. That's all I'm interested in. Screw food, I know it can help you in a tight spot, but I don't know, to me it's just not worth it. Now there is some food I recommend